How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the U.S. airstrike at an airport in Baghdad, Iraq, that left an Iranian general dead by the name of Qasem Soleimani. Now, I know I butchered his name, and I'm not really sorry because this guy, Soleimani, was a butcher himself. The blood of many dead Americans was on this man's hands. He had been engaging in proxy war for a very long time, not just under Trump or Obama, but this goes all the way back to at least 2005, where he was designated as a terrorist by the USA. Okay, but before I go any further, I got to back up here to give you a little bit of context as to why he may have been killed right now today. Go back a few days ago, remember the whole thing with the Iraqi embassy where the media said there were protesters storming the embassy? That's not what happened. You had an Iranian-backed militia that were attacking the embassy in Iraq. That is what happened. Now here you have Soleimani in Baghdad. Why are you in Baghdad, sir, when you are an Iranian? Shouldn't you be in Iran, not Iraq? You see where I'm going? There have been credible intelligence that said this man was staging more attacks on Americans through proxy means, which is what he had been doing for decades at this particular point in time. So the logical thing to do, at least from our point of view, from a military point of view, would be to eliminate him in Iraq. Now, people are saying this is a provocation to war. You want to start World War III. You're going to get China and Russia involved. No, that's not going to happen because, like I said, he had been engaging in proxy war for a very long time. The blood of many dead Americans was on his hands. So he's killed our people. We've killed their people, but never in a direct battle. If we did an airstrike at an airport in Tehran, Iran, that'd be a whole different ballgame. Now you are directly engaging in conflict with the Iranians. It'd be the equivalent of them sending a nuke to hit Washington, D.C. At that point, you're engaging in war directly with the USA. We're not doing that with each other. All we do is like fight these little proxy battles. We're over there in Syria and Afghanistan. A lot of that stuff right there are proxy battles. We're fighting them without directly fighting them. Okay. And I'm not really a fan of it, to be quite honest with you. We shouldn't really be over there, but we are over there. So if we're going to be there, we got to be safe, and we can't just allow whatever to happen. We can't just allow them to stage attacks and kill Americans. Some are going to say, oh, we're fighting wars for Israel. We're trying to defend Israel. Israel is a big part of the reason why we're there. We're protecting them, but also Saudi Arabia. You know, we might even be protecting Saudi Arabia more than Israel because of the oil situation. We don't want the global price of oil to skyrocket from these religiously backed people in Iran coming to attack the fields in Saudi or Syria or anywhere else in that particular part of the world. That'd damage the whole world economy, and it would impact Americans because the whole world economy is damaged. People are saying we have our own oil over here in the States. Yes, but that's not quite how it works. You have the global price of oil. Our reserves are for us to use when we need it. But the global price of oil will affect things like shipping from China, from other parts of Europe. It'll affect our ability to ship there. It'll affect trade and a lot of other things and the price at the pump, which is why anytime you see any kind of little infraction that happens over in Saudi, you'll see a 20% rise at the pump. What if it's 50% rise, 80% rise, 100% rise? That's going to affect the global economy, not just your gas price. But I digress. I think that's a big part of the reason why we're there. Do I want to be there doing that? No, but we are there, so we got to just handle it how we're going to handle it. The media are fear-mongering the whole situation.
Impeachment vote in House delayed as Clinton launches Iraq airstrike, citing military need to move swiftly. Now, Margaret, actually, not to diminish the importance of the airstrikes in Iraq at the time, but that's nothing compared to the murder or the assassination of General Soleimani. And this comes during the Senate impeachment trial. So what do you see as the implication here?
You'll notice how all the Democrats running for president, or the majority of them, or a lot of them, are going to say this was an unprovocated attack. Trump is being reckless. You're not talking to Congress to ask if you can declare war on Iran. There's been no war declared. There's been no war action because we're just engaging in proxy battles. The same thing we've been doing for a very long time that have killed many Americans and many Iranians. The only reason why it's news right now is because the guy was a high-ranking official next to the Ayatollah, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But that's the only reason why it's big news right now. And of course, the media want to spin it to fit their particular narratives. In the eyes of some people, it makes sense to go ahead and invade Iran, North Korea as well, because they're going to be a constant threat. Turn them into a sheet of glass right now and get it over with, but that's not really going to happen. I mean, Iran, you got 80 million people. They've been fighting since the beginning of man. They know how to fight. It would not be something you can just go in there and do. So we don't want to have war with Iran. We don't want war with anybody, but especially not a formidable country like Iran that has very powerful allies in China and Russia. China and Russia are not going to get involved over the whole thing with the general being killed. That's not really enough. What would be enough for them is if their interests were targeted in that particular region of the world. As long as they're getting what they want, they're not going to try to attack us. That doesn't really make any sense. They're not going to be the Iranian Defense Force. The Iranians are able to defend themselves. Okay, but I digress. The whole point is that we're not going to get in any kind of war. The media are fear-mongering. It's interesting how this fear-mongering did not happen when Barack Obama was in office. Remember the drone strike on Muammar Gaddafi in Libya? Nobody said back then, oh, we're trying to engage in the war with Libya. It's declaration of war against Libya. Maybe they said that and I missed it. If I did miss it, you let me know in the comments below. But I did not really hear a lot about war being waged against Libya when we were, doing regime change. Okay, I just didn't really hear that back then. I'm hearing it right now from the leftist media and from those that are on the left trying to attack the president. Very interesting how that particular thing works. And it's also interesting how the same people on the left that are saying that the Trump administration were wrong for engaging in the airstrike against a person who was actively targeting Americans to kill them through proxy means, they're the same ones who said that it was wrong for Trump to not retaliate against Saudi for the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, who was not even an American citizen. So let me get this straight. It's wrong to protect American citizens by striking the guy in Iraq, but it's also wrong to not attack Saudi Arabia or to put any kind of big sanctions on them for killing a Saudi citizen. I just don't really understand how that works. Jamal Khashoggi was not an American. He lived in America for a while working there, but he was not an American citizen. He was a citizen of Saudi Arabia, maybe even Turkey, like a dual citizen of both, but not an American citizen. At the time when he died, he was in Turkey and went to the Saudi consulate. So what do you want us to do about that? That's not our problem. That's their problem. That's their citizen. Saudi Arabia is not the United States. They handle things where they want to handle it. And I think that people got punished for that. Let them handle their own business. Let's not be over there trying to handle things for them. That is my general viewpoint about foreign policy. I wish we could just come home and leave the whole situation alone. My wish may be easier asked than granted. As I close, I want to say this. Trump has shown plenty of restraint. Remember the whole thing with the drone when it got shot down? The drone was like $100 million plus. We were getting ready to attack Iran at that point. You had planes in the sky, boats in the water, and then Trump said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to attack Iran based upon a drone. But if you got American citizens that are in danger, what are you going to do? Just let them die? You want to pull out, but you might not be able to. So what's your alternative? Like, what choice do you make in a particular situation where human life is at risk? American citizens are at risk. Property, $100 million or whatever, that's one thing. That's not good to shoot it down or to steal it or whatever. The ships being intercepted in quote unquote Iranian territorial waters, that's one thing. But American lives, what's more important? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that we were correct to engage in the military strike in Baghdad? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or were we incorrect? This may be kind of a divisive issue, and I understand. My viewpoint is that I think we should be bringing our troops home, but if we're over there, we can't act like we're not over there and just allow whatever to happen to us. We got to defend ourselves while we're there. The ultimate goal should be to leave, but the ultimate goal right now, today, should be to survive and accomplish whatever the mission is. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.